Alright guys, today we're going to draw Twilight Sparkle, but it's not the Alicorn Twilight Sparkle. I guess I should do an updated version for that one. Anyway, we'll start with a circle for her head, and just outline it to make it clearer so you guys can see it. Now I'll make a triangle for her ear, but it's like a rounded out triangle, and then you'll add like an inner line for her ear, and now we'll draw her eye, and her eye is made of 2 arches, so just one arch and then another arch to make like an almond shape. Well, not really almond shape, I should say more of like a rounded out diamond shape. And do her other eye. Her other eye is just really small compared to the first one. And then fix in the muzzle. And just judging the distance for her hair. And I would say it's about 1/4 of the way down her eye. Sorry, the camera keeps adjusting. I don't know what's wrong with it sometimes. So just do a little gap, a little triangular gap. And for her, I don't know what you call it, there's just like a gap in her hair, because her hair is not perfect and stiff. Then I'll draw in her horn. It's like halfway in her hair. Just if you split the hair in half, her horn would go right there. And her horn is just a rounded out triangle again. It's not as wide as her ear, but it's still a rounded triangle. Now I'm just drawing in the lines for her hair. And I will include a picture of the finished Twilight so you guys can have a reference of what it should look like. And still drawing in some more lines. Now I'll do her eyelashes. Just 3 on the top and then 3 on the bottom. Alright, so we drew her eyelashes. They're looking really pretty. And draw 2 on the other side. And we'll draw a little nostril. It's just a little U shape. And we'll draw a little smile on her. Now we'll do her neck, which is just 2 straight lines. Well, it's curved in the front, so it's not technically straight, it's curving. Do a circle for her body and curve it upwards because she has a cute little belly. And do a little circle that's higher up than the other circle because, you know, her butt's a little higher up. And we'll just draw the lines around the circles. And draw in her leg. Do a curved leg because legs are not straight, they have curves. And do. This is where I made a mistake. I made the bottom of her feet round when I should have made them flat. But that's okay. I mean, I'm telling you guys right now, so you'll know not to do that the way I did in the video. And I like to eyeball things, so maybe for the updated version I will specify Like, I'll just draw a bunch of shapes so it's not just eyeballing the whole time. Now her leg is wider at the bottom than at the top, so you gotta taper it, and then drawing the second leg, you just draw like the front because you can't see all of it. And if you need to erase things, you should do that. I'm kind of like, I don't need to because I'm going to outline it later. And that's where trouble happens, because when I'm outlining, I sometimes outline wrong. Anyway, now do her hair. It's just a curved line right there, and it goes around the circle. You can use the circle as reference. And then the other one curves on her cheek, and do a little gap in between her hair. Looking good. I'm just widening her eyes, lowering them a little bit, and erasing the other part. It's like the few times I erase, because I have like a little tiny nub on the end of the pencil. I used it so many times. Just rounding out her mouth a little, because it's not really that sharp. It's not that long either. It's like a tiny short muzzle. Drawing in her eyes. Just two little curved arches. And drawing a highlight. It's a giant circle. And then drawing in the shape of her pupil. Drawing another tiny highlight. They're just circles. Now I'll do 3 lines for the, I think, highlights. I'm not sure. Just because eyes are like different colors and stuff. Do 2 more circles for highlights on the other side. And then do a little arch for where her eyes are, like her pupil. Now I'm just fixing her muzzle again. And I don't know how to explain it. You know, like on your eyes, you got like little spots where it's lighter and darker. That's why I drew like several lines in her eye. For her tail, it's just a giant poof. And then doing a shape for the end. Drawing it in, just curve it.
I'll get it.
Looking good. Now you gotta do a little triangle for the gap right there. And then I'm gonna erase the line. And just because it's a gap, like, okay. And then I'll just draw in the lines for her hair. Going really slow because I'm like looking at a reference right now and just judging the distance.
No, I already fed it.
Now I'll do the lines for her tail. Alright, just drawing in the first few lines. And I would definitely recommend a reference for this one. Just because, you know, don't want to put the lines just anywhere.
No. I don't know.
I'm still very new to like editing videos and stuff, but Hopefully I can figure out how to include a picture of Twilight Sparkle just in the corner somewhere so you guys have a reference the whole time. The lines are a little bit sharp, but that's okay because, you know, it's not perfect. Trying to round it out as much as I can. Okay. It's not exact, but still good. Now we'll do her cutie mark. It's a star, of course. I'm just going to do like a little line because it's curving on her butt, right? It's not just flat. And we got to make it 3D, or at least sort of 3D. It's 6-pointed star, and then it's got like 2 triangles on the side. Right, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 stars surrounding this giant star. So just make miniature versions surrounding her butt. There'll be 3 on the left side and 2 on the right side. So 1, 2, 3 right there. See, 3 on the left and then 2 on the right. Okay. And I would strongly encourage you to erase the lines on the inside, just so then you don't confuse those lines with the lines that you want. And then if you mess up with a pen, you can't easily erase it. I'm just outlining it in pen, just using a regular Bic marker, Bic pen, sorry. Bic, B-I-C, Bic, okay. I'm going to outline everything with this pen, not just the outsides. And do her horn. Do the little stripes in her horn. Oh god, the battery's low. Let me plug this in real quick. Okay. If you guys get bored of watching me outline, you can always fast forward. Oh man, this is where I mess up. See, I didn't erase the line, so I'm like trying to fix it halfway. That's why her front leg looks a little weird. But I mean, it's not that bad. Just looks like her leg is a little bent. Ooh, yeah, my hand was a little shaky at this part. Trying to fix it doesn't help either. It's a good idea to like erase the beginning lines just so when you go over it with pen you don't mess up like I did. Just want to outline her eyelashes a little more, make them a little more 3D, like pop out. Because, you know, Twilight has kind of like mascara or something, where her eyelashes are just really thick and bold, and then like the top part of her eye is really thick and bold too. So just making the eyelashes thicker and prettier. Now I'm just outlining the top of her eye. The outline sort of stops at the third eyelash. And then just make the eyelashes nice and big. In case you're wondering, I got all the supplies from Dollar Tree, like this giant eraser, and the pens and markers and colored pencils. They're all from Dollar Tree. I normally don't outline using markers, but I decided I'd do something a little different today. Just testing it out on a separate piece of paper. It's always a good idea to do that, so I don't mess up the original drawing. Kind of hesitant at first. I was like, it's really dark, but it actually works pretty well. Even though Twilight is more of a light pink. I mean, not light pink, what am I talking about? Light purple, like her body is, and like the outline of her body. And her mane is more of a dark purple, but I don't have a dark purple marker, so I decided to go with purple and dark blue for her hair. You can see I'm kind of hesitant at first because I was like, I don't know if this will look right, since I'm basically changing up her color scheme. The blue almost looks the same as the purple. That, and I might be colorblind. Oh man, I totally forgot to color in the horn. Outline it. Don't forget to do that. And outline the ear too. Now I'm just taking violet and lightly shading in her horn because she has a light purple. I like to start in small sections and then just gradually build up.
Humans hasn't started yet, right?
If you've noticed, I've sort of muted the sound quality of the video so I could emphasize the narration. That, and you could hear my mom talking in the background, and I don't think you guys want to hear that, so just mute that out. Alright, now that we're done with that, we'll move on to her hair, and I like to start shading it in very lightly, just in case it's not the right shade or something. It's always a good idea to start out lightly and go in sections. Leave the next two lines blank because those are going to be the highlights in Twilight's hair. She's looking pretty pale right now. At least her hair is pretty pale. That's okay, we'll fix it later. Once again, leave the next two lines blank, and then color in the last rectangle. I'm just going to go back in and darken the color. Just adding some pressure and scribbling. Okay, the first two lines are going to be blue, and then the next two lines we'll leave blank because those are going to be the highlights. Sorry if the camera shakes a little. Just scribbling on the table might rock back and forth. I don't have pink, so I'm just going to use red and lightly color in all the pink details. It's not as hot pink as the highlights in Twilight's hair should be, but you just gotta make do with what you have. Once again, I like to use the same technique of just lightly coloring it in at first and then go over it with some more pressure to make it darker. So for her eye, I just make the top part darker and then the bottom part gets gradually lighter. And I left one of the little squares white. It's kind of hard to tell though. And then this eye, it's just really dark purple. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching.